and seeing some of its highest heights. But 100 years ago, bourbon and bootlegging were a booming business, and author Bob Batchelor's new book, this one, looks at that through the lens of one man. Oh, what a man he was. The book is called The Bourbon King, The Life and Crimes of George Remus, Prohibition's Evil Genius. And Bob Batchelor joins us now to talk about this. I was thinking that if you wrote down what George Remus did in his life for somebody who's unfamiliar, they would say, you're fooling me, you're kidding. Nobody could have been that devious and that successful at the same time.
Exactly.
Talk about George Remus, and he's a local guy too, by the way.
People think that the story is made up. They actually say to me, there's no way this is real. And so how do you do this? Remus had an amazing life. He's a German immigrant, he's a Chicago pharmacist, skips into a career in the legal profession, becomes essentially the Johnny Cochran of early Chicago, then decides, hey, bootlegging's kicked in and I can make millions and millions of dollars. And that's only the first part of the story.
Right, he murders his wife.
Exactly, right up the street in Eden Park.
Right.
Yes.
And then is he acquitted, or how does it? What happened with the trial?
It's an amazing story. He went up against Charlie Taft, who was William Howard Taft's son, the golden boy of the White House, and maybe a future president. Remus defends himself, creates a plea called temporary maniacal insanity, and eventually gets off. The jury lets him off. They said, George had a really bad Christmas this year, so we want to give him a great Christmas this year.
Absolutely. There must have been so much to work with in terms of trying to assemble the facts, because, I mean, the organs, the skeleton, all of everything essential for a great story, a page turner, is right there in history.
Yes. Yes, and not only were there new documents and things I was able to find, but walking in the areas where George Remus lived and being able to retrace where the murder was outside the Alms and drive those streets, it became really like a giant literary historical jigsaw puzzle that I was putting together.
I'll tell you what, for people who are local too, it's going to draw you in a lot more when you read your description of how he shoots and kills his wife in Eden Park. Then he comes out on Gilbert. And essentially confesses to what he had done and that sort of thing. But you add these local landmarks and cues that really draw local people into the story. Yeah,
people from the region have really told me that they enjoy the book because Cincinnati is a star player in the book, because Remus came here for a reason. This was just as now, like we're going to celebrate this weekend, the gateway to bourbon country and really the key to bourbon country. So he came here for a purpose and lived quite a Gatsby-like lifestyle.
Speaking of which, you have written on Gatsby. You have also written about the folk singer Bob Dylan.
Yep.
And you've done bios on important people. Where does George Remus fit into that?
People have asked me, who would Remus be like? And I can't think of anybody. I think maybe a little bit of Lyndon Baines Johnson and maybe a little bit of Stalin. I don't even know. It's so...
Let that stew around in your head a little bit.
Exactly. And that's why people think I made this up, but it's all true.
You've been around this business for a while. Why do you think somebody hasn't just picked this up and just made this into a continuing series or some kind of a Godfather-like movie or something like that?
The thing is, what I found in my research, people love The Great Gatsby and the party idea of the 1920s, but they hate Prohibition. So a lot of things about Remus, even in this area, they're wiped away. Like some of the artifacts that would be priceless now, they're all gone. His mansion's gone in Price Hill. So there aren't a lot of remnants left.
All right, well, I'd love to talk to you forever about this. But you can talk to Bob Batchelor himself. He's going to have a guest talk tomorrow and Saturday during Kentucky's Edge Conference and Festival. Just go to local12.com and click on the Get It Now links for more information. And hey, buy this book. If you're from here and you care about what happened, you'll be immersed into a story you won't believe, and it's all real. It's all real.
The Bourbon Conference part of Kentucky's Edge tomorrow. It's going on all day. It's Saturday. It's going to be going on all day. It's going to be great.
All right. Bob, thank you so much for coming and talking about Mr. Remus here.